Power, in all its glory, has a magnetic pull. We often imagine it as something to be desired, pursued, and attained, something that promises fulfillment, success, and influence. But what happens when that power slips away from our grasp, when it crumbles unexpectedly, and we are left with nothing but the bitter taste of loss? The unsettling truth is that power, much like a fleeting romance, is both intoxicating and dangerous. It entices with promises of grandeur, but just as quickly, it can vanish, leaving us vulnerable and exposed. One of the most poignant reflections on this delicate balance is found in the words of the Renaissance philosopher and diplomat, Niccolò Machiavelli. He once said, "One should never fall in love with power because it is like a woman. It can give you pleasure and then leave you when you least expect it." This powerful metaphor, laden with wisdom, offers us an important warning, one that speaks to the very core of political life and the nature of human ambition. In this essay, we will delve into Machiavelli's reflection on the transient nature of power, exploring its implications for rulers, statesmen, and even individuals in positions of influence. We will unpack the lesson that power is not something to cling to, for it is as unpredictable as a lover's heart. As we embark on this journey, we will consider how political life, with all its intrigue and ambition, is often defined by the sudden shifts in fortune and the instability that power brings. So, let's take a closer look at why one should never fall in love with power, and how we can better understand its fragility and fleeting nature. Before we dive deeper into the heart of this topic, I'd like to take a moment to welcome you to The Unfolding Journey, a channel dedicated to exploring the complexities of life, politics, philosophy, and history. Here, we unravel the timeless lessons that can help us understand not only the world around us, but also the forces that shape our own lives. Whether you're a history enthusiast, a philosophy lover, or simply someone interested in gaining deeper insights into the nature of power, influence, and human behavior, this is the perfect place for you. So sit back, relax, and get ready to join us on this intellectual adventure. As we explore the twists and turns of power's transient nature, you'll find that the journey is just as enriching as the destination. The precarious nature of power. To understand Machiavelli's warning fully, we must first appreciate the complexities of power itself. Power, by its very nature, is not a stable or static force. It is ever-changing, influenced by a myriad of factors such as political alliances, public opinion, military strength, economic conditions, and perhaps most importantly, luck. In The Prince, Machiavelli lays bare the volatility of political power, asserting that a ruler must remain vigilant and adaptable in order to maintain control over his domain. Machiavelli's analogy of power as a woman is a potent metaphor because it highlights the unpredictable and uncontrollable aspects of power. Like a woman who may offer affection and attention one moment, only to withdraw it the next, power can be generous and rewarding, but it can also abandon a ruler when least expected. History is littered with examples of rulers who enjoyed the pleasures of power, only to find themselves ousted or betrayed when their grip on it weakened. One of the key elements of Machiavelli's philosophy is the recognition that fortune or luck plays a significant role in determining who holds power at any given moment. Even the most capable and cunning rulers can fall victim to forces beyond their control, whether it be a change in the political landscape, the rise of a rival, or a shift in public sentiment. For Machiavelli, the fickle nature of fortune is something that every ruler must reckon with. He cautions that those who grow too complacent in their position or too enamored with their power are more likely to suffer the consequences when fortune turns against them. The idea that power is an illusion of permanence is a fundamental theme in Machiavelli's work. Throughout history, many rulers have allowed themselves to believe that their hold on power is secure, that it is their rightful place, that they are invincible. Yet, as Machiavelli teaches us, this belief is dangerous. No ruler, no matter how skilled or powerful, is immune to the vagaries of fortune. Take, for example, the case of King Louis XVI of France. At the height of his power, Louis was regarded as the absolute monarch, the embodiment of royal authority. However, despite his apparent strength and influence, his reign was marked by growing discontent and unrest among the people. In the end, the revolution that overthrew him proved to be the undoing of his dynasty, illustrating how quickly power can evaporate. What was once seen as an unshakable position of authority became, in a matter of months, a symbol of weakness and failure. This abrupt shift in power underscores the illusory nature of political dominance. Louis XVI, like many rulers throughout history, likely believed that his position was secure, that his power was unassailable. Yet, he failed to recognize the fragility of his position, and ultimately, this led to his downfall. In this sense, his love for power, his attachment to it, was a fatal flaw. The dangers of attachment. Why, then, does Machiavelli caution against falling in love with power? The answer lies in the dangers of attachment. When we become attached to something, whether it's a person, a possession, or an idea, we risk losing sight of the forces that could threaten it. This attachment can cloud our judgment, making us complacent or blind to the changes happening around us. In the case of political power, such attachment can be even more dangerous, as it may lead a ruler to make decisions based on a desire to maintain their position rather than what is best for the state or the people. Machiavelli emphasizes the importance of pragmatism and flexibility in leadership. He argues that rulers must not be bound by personal desires or attachments, but must instead remain focused on the greater goal of maintaining the stability of the state. To be successful, a ruler must be willing to adapt to changing circumstances and to make difficult decisions, even if those decisions challenge their personal interests or desires. This philosophy is echoed in the lives of many political figures who were able to maintain power for extended periods, not because they were attached to their position, but because they were adaptable and strategic. For example, Winston Churchill's leadership during World War II was marked by his ability to respond to rapidly changing circumstances. His focus was not on holding on to power for power's sake, but on achieving victory for Britain and the Allies. Similarly, figures like Franklin D. Roosevelt and Nelson Mandela exemplified the ability to adapt and change in response to shifting political landscapes. Another key aspect of Machiavelli's warning is his acknowledgement of fortune's role in the rise and fall of rulers. For him, fortune is not something that can be controlled, but it is a force that must be understood and navigated. While skill, cunning, and strategy are important, they are not always enough to ensure that a ruler remains in power. Fortune is an unpredictable force that can elevate one person and bring another to ruin. Machiavelli uses the example of Cesare Borgia, a ruthless and ambitious ruler, to illustrate how fortune can shape the fate of even the most talented individuals. Borgia, who was highly skilled and had a clear strategy for consolidating power, found his fortunes reversed when the papacy, which had supported him, turned against him. Despite his brilliance, Borgia was ultimately undone by the shifting tides of fortune, demonstrating that even the most capable rulers are at the mercy of external forces beyond their control. The lesson from Machiavelli is clear. Power is fleeting, and rulers must not become too attached to it. The key to maintaining power, and even more so, to thriving in positions of influence, is to recognize its transient nature and to remain adaptable in the face of uncertainty. As we reflect on the quote, "One should never fall in love with power because it is like a woman. It can give you pleasure and then leave you when you least expect it," we are reminded of the delicate balance between ambition and humility. The pursuit of power, while natural, must always be tempered with an awareness of its fragility. Those who allow themselves to become enamored with power risk losing not only their position, but their ability to navigate the ever-changing landscape of political life. If you've enjoyed this exploration into the transient nature of power, I encourage you to subscribe to the Unfolding Journey channel. Here, we'll continue to explore fascinating philosophical insights, historical lessons, and deep dives into the complexities of the human experience. Don't miss out on future content that will help you unravel the mysteries of power, politics, and more. Hit the subscribe button now and join us on this ever-evolving journey.